Welcome to my channel USA Old Coins, the place where history meets treasure. Here, every coin tells a story, from the oldest United States classics that shaped our past to the newest rare discoveries that amaze collectors today. If you love the thrill of uncovering hidden value, exploring the beauty of design, and learning the secrets behind coins worth fortunes, then you're in the right place. Join us as we dive deep into the world of rare U.S. coins, both old and new, and reveal the fascinating details that make them priceless. Top 1. The Harper's Ferry Quarter from the America the Beautiful series is one of the most fascinating coins in modern U.S. history, not only for its detailed design but also for its deep connection to American heritage. Released in 2016, this quarter tells the story of struggle, transformation, and resilience that shaped the nation. When people first see the Harper's Ferry Quarter, they are often struck by its artwork, but few realize the historical significance captured within its imagery. This coin represents more than money. It reflects one of the most critical sites in U.S. history, forever etched in metal, the America the Beautiful series, which ran from 2010 to 2021, was designed to celebrate the nation's most treasured sites. Each coin brought forward a story, and the Harper's Ferry Quarter stood out as one that encapsulated conflict and change, centered around the town of Harper's Ferry in West Virginia. Harper's Ferry is historically recognized as the location of John Brown's raid in 1859, an event that intensified tensions leading to the Civil War. The U.S. Mint chose to capture this significance by placing the John Brown's Fort building prominently on the reverse of the coin. The design showcases the fort where John Brown and his men staged their last stand. This structure, a small fire engine house, became a symbol of resistance and sacrifice. By featuring it on the quarter, the Mint ensured that every person who held this coin could connect with a pivotal moment in history. The obverse side of the quarter is the familiar portrait of George Washington. This classic image has been the face of U.S. quarters since 1932, and in the Harper's Ferry coin, it continues the tradition of linking the nation's founding father to modern history. The release of the Harper's Ferry Quarter brought great excitement among collectors and historians. It wasn't just a piece of currency, it was a miniature monument to the courage of those who dared to challenge the status quo. The detailed artwork on the reverse was created to highlight not only the fort but also its enduring presence. Even though the building itself has been moved several times throughout history, the U.S. Mint ensured its memory would remain permanent through this coin. Collectors immediately took notice of this coin upon release. As with many America the Beautiful quarters, people were eager to find pristine examples, but the Harper's Ferry Quarter quickly gained extra attention due to its strong historical subject matter. The coin was minted in multiple locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint mark carries its own appeal to collectors, but some varieties of the Harper's Ferry Quarter have proven to be especially valuable. Error coins are among the most sought after, and the Harper's Ferry Quarter has been known to produce several unusual striking mistakes. These small imperfections transformed an ordinary coin into a highly desirable treasure for collectors. One example includes off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing due to a misalignment during minting. These errors give each coin a unique appearance, and with Harper's Ferry's historical design, they can become truly fascinating to study. Another collectible variety involves doubled dies, where the design appears doubled due to a misprint in the minting process. For the Harper's Ferry coin, such doubled features may be visible in the inscriptions or architectural details of the fort. Collectors love these imperfections because they combine history, artistry, and rarity all in one small piece of metal. While millions of Harper's Ferry quarters were made, only a handful with significant errors are considered highly valuable. Over time, these rare error coins began surfacing in collections, auctions, and coin shows, creating buzz around the Harper's Ferry Quarter. People started realizing that this wasn't just another quarter in their pocket, it could be a hidden treasure. The connection between Harper's Ferry's historical importance and the rarity of its coin varieties makes this quarter truly special. It bridges the past and present, showing how even modern coins can carry remarkable value. Many people who stumbled upon these coins in circulation never imagined that one quarter could be worth more than its face value. But those who understood its significance quickly recognized its potential. the U.S. Mint always intended for the America the Beautiful quarters to inspire people to learn more about history, geography, and culture. The Harper's Ferry design perfectly accomplishes this by reminding us of the sacrifices made during one of the most turbulent times in American history. For collectors, it is a challenge and an adventure to seek out the best preserved examples of the Harper's Ferry quarter. High-grade coins, particularly those in mint state or proof condition, are among the most desirable. Grading services often certify these coins, giving them an official quality ranking. Those that achieve the highest grades can command impressive prices when sold at auctions or through private collections, but the most valuable Harper's Ferry quarters are not just those in top condition. They are the rare error coins that stand apart from the millions of regular issues. These coins tell their own story, both historically and numismatically. The beauty of this coin lies in its ability to be both a lesson in history and a piece of art. Collectors often say that holding the Harper's Ferry quarter feels like holding a part of America's struggle for freedom and equality. This sense of connection makes the coin especially appealing to people beyond just numismatists. Historians, educators, and everyday individuals find value in this coin because it carries a story that continues to resonate. Every coin is a reminder that history can be preserved in the most unexpected places, even in the change we carry in our pockets. That is why the Harper's Ferry quarter remains such a powerful collectible. When auction houses list rare Harper's Ferry quarters, collectors compete fiercely to secure them. The bidding often rises quickly, proving just how significant these small treasures have become in the collecting world. What began as a commemorative piece of circulating currency has now reached a legendary status among collectors. The Harper's Ferry quarter is no longer just pocket change, it is a window into the past and a highly desirable collectible. For those fortunate enough to own one of the rarest varieties, the reward is not only historical pride but also financial value. Some examples of this coin have been appraised at staggering amounts that surprise even experienced collectors. The most astonishing discovery came when one rare Harper's Ferry quarter, featuring an extraordinary minting error, sold for an incredible sum. That coin was valued at $44,000. Top 2. The Kansas quarter from the United States Mint's 50 State Quarters program is one of the most beloved and talked about designs in the entire series. Released in 2005, this coin honored the state of Kansas with a design that beautifully blends history, culture, and natural heritage. When people first look at the Kansas State Quarter, they immediately notice the bold and iconic imagery on its reverse side. The coin features two important symbols of the state, the American bison and a sunflower, both of which carry deep meaning for the people of Kansas. The bison, also called the buffalo, represents the wildlife and rugged plains of Kansas. Once roaming the Great Plains in massive numbers, the bison is not just a symbol of strength and resilience but also a reminder of the frontier days that shaped the American West. Alongside the bison is the sunflower, the official state flower of Kansas. Known as the Sunflower State, Kansas takes pride in the golden flower that thrives across its farmlands and fields, standing tall as a symbol of warmth, growth, and natural beauty. Together, these two images, the mighty bison and the sunflower, capture the spirit of Kansas perfectly. It is a design that collectors and everyday Americans admire for its simple yet powerful representation of state identity. The obverse of the coin carries the familiar portrait of George Washington. Designed by John Flanagan, this image has been used on quarters for decades, reminding us of the nation's founding as each new state was added to the series. The Kansas quarter was minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with millions of examples released into circulation. Yet, despite the high mintage, certain rare varieties of this coin have become extremely valuable among collectors. One of the most famous and intriguing errors associated with the Kansas quarter is known as the "In God We Rust" variety. This mistake occurred when grease-filled dyes caused the letter T in the word trust to be faint or completely missing. Instead of reading "In God We Trust," the coin appears to say "In God We Rust." This small error turned a common quarter into a must-have rarity, sparking excitement among collectors who rushed to find examples of this unusual variety. The "In God We Rust" error is found mostly on Kansas quarters minted in Philadelphia. While not every example is valuable, those in higher grades or with more dramatic lettering mistakes can command strong prices in the coin market. This error is one of the reasons the Kansas quarter is so well known today. It gave the coin a kind of fame beyond its original design, and many people began checking their pocket change just to see if they had one of these odd varieties. Other minting issues with the Kansas quarter include double dies, where certain letters or details of the design appear doubled. These coins are much harder to spot but can be worth significantly more to specialized collectors. Because of these errors, the Kansas state quarter gained a reputation for being one of the most collectible coins in the 50 state quarters program. What was once just a piece of everyday currency became a treasure hunt for those who loved numismatics. Collectors often highlight how the Kansas quarter bridges both artistry and curiosity. Its regular design alone is visually striking, but the presence of dramatic errors elevates it into the realm of highly sought-after pieces. The Kansas quarter also reflects the broader success of the 50 state quarters program. By 2005, millions of Americans had taken an interest in coin collecting, searching through change jars and cash registers in hopes of completing their state sets. This surge of interest brought a new generation of collectors into the hobby. The Kansas quarter, with its bison and sunflower, became a favorite not just for Kansans but for people across the country. The story of the Kansas quarter also reminds us how small details can have a big impact. A single missing letter transformed an ordinary coin into a legendary error, teaching collectors to look closer at every coin they encounter. For historians, the Kansas design symbolizes the blending of natural heritage with cultural identity. The bison speaks to the land's wild past, while the sunflower reflects the enduring agricultural traditions of Kansas. For numismatists, the Kansas quarter is a study in how minting mistakes add value and intrigue to coin collecting. Every example with the "In God We Rust" variety tells its own story of how chance can create rarity. Over time, high-grade Kansas quarters, especially those with errors, have appeared in coin auctions, often fetching impressive sums. This has only increased their desirability and reputation in the numismatic community. The coin has also become a popular conversation piece. Even those who are not coin collectors find themselves fascinated when shown the famous "In God We Rust" quarter, proving that coins can capture public imagination. While millions of regular Kansas quarters remain in circulation, the rare ones are carefully preserved in collections. Their value continues to grow as fewer pristine examples are available to the public. The Kansas state quarter demonstrates how each piece of currency tells a story. From its artwork to its minting history, it connects everyday people to the broader history of both Kansas and the nation. The design of the bison and sunflower endures as a timeless tribute to the state. But the errors associated with this coin ensure that it will forever hold a special place in coin collecting lore. This coin proves that not all treasures are hidden away in banks or museums. Sometimes they can be found in pocket change. The Kansas quarter shows that extraordinary value can come from the most ordinary places. The thrill of discovering a rare Kansas-era coin is what keeps collectors searching to this day. It is a reminder of the excitement that coin collecting brings to people of all ages. What started as a simple tribute to Kansas has grown into one of the most memorable coins of the 50 state quarters program. The Kansas quarter has earned its place in numismatic history, and for those lucky enough to own one of the rarest and most valuable Kansas quarters, the reward can be astonishing. Some examples of this coin have been valued at $85,000. Top 3. The Fort McHenry quarter is one of the most dramatic and inspiring designs in the America the Beautiful quarters program. Released in 2013, this coin carries with it the memory of a historic battle that defined American resilience and inspired the nation's anthem. When collectors first glance at the Fort McHenry quarter, they are struck by the power of its imagery. Unlike many quarters that show landscapes or monuments at rest, this one captures the fort in action, lit up during a nighttime bombardment that forever changed history. The design depicts Fort McHenry in Baltimore, Maryland, during the War of 1812. It shows fireworks in the sky, symbolizing the rockets' red glare and bombs bursting in air that Francis Scott Key immortalized in his poem, which later became the Star-Spangled Banner. The obverse of the coin, as with all America the Beautiful quarters, we see the classic portrait of George Washington. His steady image serves as a reminder of the nation's founding, paired here with a site that reflects its endurance. The release of the Fort McHenry quarter was part of a broader effort by the U.S. Mint to celebrate America's heritage. Each coin in the series honored a different national site, and Fort McHenry was chosen because of its symbolic role in America's survival against overwhelming odds. During the War of 1812, British forces launched a powerful naval attack on Baltimore. The bombardment of Fort McHenry lasted for 25 hours, yet the American defenders held strong, raising the large flag that inspired Francis Scott Key as he watched from a ship in the harbor. This moment became one of the most patriotic symbols in American history. By placing it on a quarter, the U.S. Mint gave millions of people a chance to carry this story in their hands every day. Collectors value the Fort McHenry quarter not only for its historical significance but also for its striking design. The depiction of the fort at night, glowing with the brightness of the bombardment, stands out as one of the most dynamic images in the entire America the Beautiful series. The coin was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint mark adds a layer of collectability, especially for those who aim to complete a full set of the America the Beautiful coins. Among these coins, special proof and silver editions were struck, which are particularly appealing to collectors. These versions showcase the design in even sharper detail, highlighting the brilliance of the fort and the fireworks in the sky. But as with many coins, the Fort McHenry quarter has its own varieties and minting errors that make certain examples rare and highly valuable. It is in these unusual coins that collectors find their greatest excitement. Some Fort McHenry quarters feature off-center strikes, where the design is slightly misplaced due to a minting error. These quirks create a one-of-a-kind piece, turning a common coin into a true collectible. Others include double dies, where the inscriptions or parts of the design appear doubled. These errors can be subtle or dramatic, but either way, they are considered highly desirable by collectors. There are also reports of coins struck with unusual die cracks, leaving raised lines across the coin's surface. While these are technical flaws, they are celebrated by enthusiasts who love rare and imperfect examples. Such coins remind us that rarity is often born out of imperfection. While millions of Fort McHenry quarters exist, only a handful with these unique errors command special value. The coin's connection to America's national anthem gives it another layer of cultural weight. Every time someone studies the design, they are reminded of the lyrics that celebrate freedom and resilience. In classrooms, museums, and even patriotic ceremonies, the Fort McHenry quarter has been used as a teaching tool to spark conversations about history. Its story transcends collecting. It is about remembering the moments that defined the nation. For collectors, finding a Fort McHenry quarter in pristine mint state condition is a true accomplishment. Coins graded at the highest levels are always in demand, as their sharpness and luster capture the design in its fullest beauty. Certified examples of this coin, especially those with errors or proof qualities, have been known to sell for far more than their face value. This is where the world of history and investment come together in the art of coin collecting. The America the Beautiful series as a whole created a new wave of interest in modern coinage, and the Fort McHenry quarter was one of the standout pieces that drew people into the hobby. Its powerful imagery, patriotic story, and rare varieties make it one of the most memorable designs in recent U.S. minting history. It shows that even modern coins can carry tremendous value and importance. Many collectors began their journey with simple state or America the Beautiful quarters found in circulation, and for some, the Fort McHenry coin became the spark that fueled a lifelong passion. The story of the coin is also a reminder of how America itself has endured. Just as the fort stood strong under bombardment, the nation too has survived countless challenges, always raising its flag high. For this reason, the Fort McHenry quarter is not just a collectible but a symbol. It unites numismatics with patriotism, artistry with memory, and rarity with meaning. The value of this coin continues to grow, especially when rare varieties appear at auction. Collectors compete fiercely to own these prized examples, making them some of the most exciting modern coins in circulation. It is fascinating to think that what was once released as everyday change has now become a significant part of numismatic history. The Fort McHenry quarter proves that extraordinary treasures can hide in plain sight. When the coin was unveiled in 2013, no one could have predicted just how sought after some examples would become. Today, it stands as one of the highlights of the America the Beautiful collection, and for those fortunate enough to discover or own one of the rarest Fort McHenry quarters with exceptional errors or conditions, the financial reward has been remarkable. Some examples of this coin have been valued at $62,000. Top 4. The Salt River Bay Quarter is one of the most captivating modern designs released by the United States Mint. Struck in 2020 as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, this coin celebrates the lush natural beauty of the U.S. Virgin Islands. When people first look at the Salt River Bay Quarter, they often notice how different it is from many other designs. Instead of focusing on a fort, a historic building, or a monument, it highlights the unique natural ecosystem of the Virgin Islands. The reverse of the coin features a striking design of red mangrove trees sprouting from the water. The image shows both the roots and the growth of the mangroves, a powerful symbol of life, renewal, and resilience in nature. These mangrove trees are not only beautiful, they play a vital role in protecting coastlines, filtering water, and providing habitats for countless species. By choosing this design, the Mint honored the importance of conservation in the modern era. On the obverse, we see the traditional portrait of George Washington, first introduced in 1932. This classic image continues the long tradition of linking America's past leaders with its evolving history and natural heritage. The Salt River Bay Quarter quickly gained popularity among collectors for its bold, natural theme. It was unlike any other quarter in the series and stood out as a symbol of environmental awareness. But beyond its artistic beauty, this coin also carries fascinating stories of rarity, variety, and value that make it especially interesting to collectors and numismatists. The coin was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, and also struck in proof and silver editions. Each version has its own appeal, but certain minting errors have made some examples incredibly valuable. One of the most talked about features of the Salt River Bay Quarter is its detailed design, which sometimes leads to striking anomalies during the minting process. A tiny imperfection in the dies or a misaligned strike can result in a rare collectible. Some examples have been discovered with doubled dies, where parts of the mangrove leaves or the inscriptions appear doubled. These rare errors are highly prized by collectors. Other coins show off-center strikes, where the image is slightly shifted, leaving part of the coin blank or uneven. These unusual varieties are scarce and always generate attention when they surface. Die cracks and cuds have also been reported on this quarter. These flaws appear as raised lines or lumps of metal that shouldn't be there, making the coin even more unique. Collectors love these imperfections because they prove that even in modern minting, where technology is highly advanced, true rarities can still occur by chance. The Salt River Bay Quarter also carries cultural significance because of its connection to the Virgin Islands. The Salt River Bay National Historical Park and Ecological Preserve is both a site of rich history and incredible biodiversity. It is one of the few places in the United States where you can find mangrove forests, coral reefs, and prehistoric archaeological sites all in one location. The coin captures this harmony of history and nature beautifully. The America the Beautiful Quarters program was designed to highlight treasured sites from every state and territory, and the Salt River Bay coin stands as one of the most visually stunning examples in the entire collection. For collectors, the 2020 release was also memorable because it came during a time of global uncertainty. Many people turned to coin collecting as a hobby, and the Salt River Bay Quarter became a meaningful symbol of resilience. High-grade examples of this coin in mint state condition are already in demand. As time passes and circulation wears down most coins, the best preserved pieces will only grow more valuable. Special proof and silver editions add to the allure, showing off the mangrove design in brilliant detail. These coins are often showcased in collector sets and serve as highlights in modern numismatic collections, but it is the rare error coins that truly capture the imagination of collectors. Stories of doubled dies, misstrikes, and unusual flaws make the Salt River Bay Quarter a constant topic of discussion in the numismatic community. The rarity of these coins ensures that they will remain highly sought after for years to come. Even in a series filled with beautiful designs, the Salt River Bay Quarter has carved out a special place. Its connection to the environment, its stunning artwork, and its role as one of the last coins in the America the Beautiful program make it unforgettable. The coin also appeals to those outside the coin collecting world. Environmentalists, educators, and people from the Virgin Islands see this quarter as more than money. It is a small monument to nature's resilience. Collectors often emphasize that modern coins like the Salt River Bay quarter are just as important to preserve as older coins. Today's pocket change can become tomorrow's treasure. This is especially true for coins with significant varieties. Many people overlook them, but those who pay close attention can discover pieces worth far more than their face value. Auction results already show that rare Salt River Bay quarters can sell for remarkable amounts. Collectors compete for the best examples, and prices continue to rise with each passing year, a reminder that even the smallest coin can hold great value, both historically and financially. The Salt River Bay quarter proves that beauty, rarity, and meaning can all be combined in a single design. For those who appreciate both nature and history, this coin is a perfect representation of how the United States Mint tells stories through metal. It preserves the environment's legacy in a way that can be passed down for generations, and for the lucky few who own the rarest and most valuable Salt River Bay quarters, the reward is extraordinary. Some examples of this coin have been valued at $40,000. Top 5. The Washington Quarter from 2007 is one of the most fascinating releases from the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. This coin honors the evergreen state with a bold design that captures both its natural beauty and its identity as one of the most scenic regions of America. When collectors first look at the Washington State Quarter, they are immediately struck by its dramatic imagery. The coin depicts the majestic outline of Mount Rainier rising in the background, paired with a detailed image of a jumping salmon in the foreground. This design perfectly combines the state's towering mountains and abundant rivers. The salmon represents the lifeblood of Washington's ecosystems and its cultural connection to the Pacific Northwest. It is not only an important species for the environment but also a central part of the state's heritage. Mount Rainier, on the other hand, is the most iconic natural landmark in Washington. Standing at over 14,000 feet tall, it is both awe-inspiring and symbolic of the natural wilderness that defines the state. Together, the salmon and Mount Rainier reflect the dual identity of Washington, a land of rich natural resources and breathtaking scenery. The design is one of the most beloved in the entire 50 State Quarters program. The obverse of the coin, like all state quarters, features the familiar portrait of George Washington. This timeless image has appeared on the quarter since 1932 and serves as a reminder of the nation's history alongside each state's unique story. The Washington Quarter was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Proof and silver proof versions were also released, giving collectors a chance to enjoy the design in stunning detail. But what truly makes the Washington State Quarter exciting for collectors is not just its design but also its varieties, errors, and the surprising value that some rare examples can achieve. One of the most sought-after errors involves doubled dies, where parts of the inscriptions or the salmon's detail appear doubled. These varieties are often subtle but highly desirable in the numismatic world. Other rare examples include off-center strikes, where the coin's image is shifted away from the center, leaving blank areas along the edge. These unusual minting errors make each coin a one-of-a-kind collectible. There are also coins reported with die cracks and cuds, where extra metal appears on the coin due to flaws in the minting dies. These imperfections may seem minor, but collectors are willing to pay premiums for them. The Washington Quarter from 2007 is also memorable because it was one of the later releases in the 50 State Quarters program. By this time, millions of people were already engaged in the hobby, carefully checking their pocket change for special finds. This means that the Washington coin was released at the height of public interest, making it not just a piece of currency but part of a nationwide collecting craze that defined the 2000s. Even today, many people vividly remember searching through rolls of quarters to find their state. For Washington residents, this coin became a source of state pride and a permanent reminder of their natural heritage. High-grade examples of the Washington Quarter are already in demand. Coins in mint state condition, with no scratches or wear, capture the beauty of the design more clearly and are often the most sought-after. Proof versions, especially those struck in silver, are also incredibly popular. They showcase the design of the salmon and Mount Rainier with exceptional clarity, turning the coin into a miniature work of art. But it is the rare error coins that truly make the Washington State Quarter valuable. These varieties stand apart from the millions of regular issues, giving collectors something unique to chase. The combination of artistry, rarity, and symbolism makes the Washington State Quarter one of the most fascinating coins in the entire program. It represents more than money, it tells the story of a land defined by mountains, rivers, and resilience. The coin also reminds us of how natural resources like salmon are tied deeply to culture and identity. For Native American tribes and residents of the Pacific Northwest, the salmon is not only food but a symbol of life itself. This cultural weight makes the quarter stand out even more. It is not just a coin, it is a tribute to a way of life that continues to this day. Collectors often say that the Washington State Quarter captures both the grandeur of the land and the spirit of its people. This blend of nature and culture is what makes it unforgettable. As time goes on, fewer high-grade examples remain in circulation. Most quarters have been used and worn down, which means that pristine coins will only grow more valuable. Auction houses have already seen rare era varieties of the Washington quarter fetch significant prices. Collectors compete fiercely for the most unusual examples, proving the enduring popularity of this design. The Washington State Quarter demonstrates how coins can preserve history, culture, and natural heritage in a single small piece of metal. It is a reminder that even pocket change can hold stories worth telling. For many, the thrill of discovering a valuable coin in circulation keeps the hobby alive. And with the Washington Quarter, that excitement is doubled by the chance of finding rare minting errors. Every coin is like a time capsule. The Washington Quarter not only preserves the story of a state but also the memory of an era when coin collecting brought millions of Americans together. Its design remains one of the most admired in the series. The salmon leaping in front of Mount Rainier is an image that perfectly embodies the spirit of Washington, and its place in the 50 State Quarters program ensures it will be remembered for generations. And for the rarest examples of this coin, those with extraordinary errors or exceptional condition, the reward can be stunning. Some of these Washington State Quarters have been valued at $81,000. Top 6. The Georgia State Quarter from the 50 State Quarters program is one of the most symbolic coins ever released by the United States Mint. Issued in 1999 as part of the first wave of the series, this coin tells the story of Georgia's heritage, strength, and pride in a single design. When people first glance at the Georgia Quarter, they immediately notice its bold artwork. The reverse side features a peach at the center, surrounded by oak branches, and the outline of the state itself. This design perfectly represents Georgia's nickname, the Peach State. The peach has long been a symbol of Georgia's agricultural success, as the state is known worldwide for producing some of the juiciest peaches in America. By placing it at the heart of the design, the coin pays tribute to the fruit that has become an icon of the state. Surrounding the peach are branches of live oak, Georgia's state tree. These branches symbolize strength and endurance, reminding us of the natural beauty and resilience that define the people of Georgia. Behind these elements is the outline of the state of Georgia itself, giving the design a sense of geographical pride. Anyone looking at the coin can immediately recognize the state and its role in the Union. The banner across the coin reads the motto: wisdom, justice, moderation. These three guiding principles have been part of Georgia's identity since the Revolutionary War era, and their inclusion on the quarter ties the coin back to the state's core values. The obverse of the coin is the classic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. This image has graced U.S. quarters since 1932 and provides a sense of continuity throughout the 50 State Quarters program. The Georgia Quarter was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, with millions of examples struck. Special proof versions were also made in San Francisco, including silver proofs that showcase the design in incredible detail. While millions of Georgia quarters entered circulation, not all are equal in value. Some examples have unique minting errors that make them incredibly rare and highly prized by collectors. One of the most well-known errors on the Georgia quarter is the off-center strike. In these coins, the design is not properly aligned with the center of the blank planchet, creating a striking misprint that makes each coin unique. Another variety involves double dies, where letters, numbers, or parts of the peach appear doubled due to mistakes in the die-making process. These doubled details can turn an ordinary coin into a sought-after rarity. Die cracks and cuds are also seen on some Georgia quarters. These flaws occur when minting dies become worn or damaged, leaving raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. Collectors are always on the lookout for these error coins because they are far scarcer than the standard issues. Even a small flaw can elevate the value of the Georgia quarter significantly. High-grade examples of the Georgia quarter are also very desirable. Coins preserved in mint state condition, with no scratches or signs of wear, capture the artwork in sharp clarity and can command high prices. The Georgia quarter also has a special place in history because it was among the very first coins released in the 50-state quarters program. The series began in 1999. And Georgia's coin was one of the early designs that helped ignite the coin collecting boom of the early 2000s. Program brought millions of new collectors into the hobby. For many people, the Georgia quarter was one of the first pieces they added to their sets, making it a nostalgic and important coin. Its design also tells the story of a state deeply tied to its land, its traditions, and its values. The peach and oak branches remind us of the balance between agriculture and strength, while the state motto emphasizes wisdom and moderation in governance. For Georgians, this coin is a permanent symbol of pride. For collectors, it is a reminder of how modern coins can still hold great cultural and financial significance. The Georgia quarter remains one of the more popular issues from the first year of the program, both because of its beauty and because of the errors that make some examples so valuable. Collectors often recall how exciting it was to first find a Georgia quarter in circulation, especially during the early days of the program. That excitement continues today, as rare examples still surface in change and coin rolls. Over the years, high-grade and error Georgia quarters have appeared at auctions, sometimes selling for astonishing amounts. These coins show that even modern designs can achieve incredible value. The combination of rarity, symbolism, and nostalgia makes the Georgia quarter a standout piece in any collection. It embodies everything that made the 50-state quarters program such a success. The story of this coin is also a reminder that value often hides in plain sight. Something as ordinary as a quarter can turn out to be a collectible treasure worth thousands of dollars. This is why collectors continue to carefully study every coin they find. The Georgia quarter has proven that even the smallest details, a misprint, a double die, or an off-center strike, can make all the difference. As time goes on, pristine examples of the Georgia quarter will only become scarcer, ensuring that their value continues to rise in the years ahead. The enduring beauty of the design and the historical importance of the series guarantee that this coin will always hold a special place in the world of U.S. coinage. T represents not just the state of Georgia, but also the beginning of a nationwide collecting movement that united millions of people in the simple joy of searching for coins. And for those who have discovered or acquired one of the rarest varieties of the Georgia quarter, the reward has been extraordinary. Some examples of this coin have been valued at $45,000. Top 7. The Acadia National Park quarter, released in 2012, is one of the most admired designs in the America the Beautiful quarters program. It celebrates the breathtaking beauty of Maine's iconic national park and has quickly become a favorite among collectors. The America the Beautiful series was launched in 2010, and each coin highlights a national park or historic site across the country. The Acadia quarter was the third release of 2012 and the 13th coin in the overall program. Acadia National Park itself is a treasure of the northeastern United States. Established in 1916, it was the first national park east of the Mississippi River, and it showcases rugged coastlines, forested mountains, and stunning ocean views. The reverse design of the Acadia quarter captures the essence of the park's grandeur. It depicts the base Harper Head lighthouse, perched on a rocky cliff with the Atlantic Ocean stretching beyond. This scene is a perfect tribute to Maine's maritime heritage. Lighthouses have long been symbols of guidance and safety for sailors, and the base Harper Head lighthouse continues to serve as a beacon for ships navigating Maine's rocky shores. Its inclusion on the quarter makes the design not just beautiful but deeply meaningful. The detail on the coin is remarkable, showing the strength of the lighthouse, the jagged rocks below, and the surrounding trees. It captures the rugged character of Maine's coastline in miniature form. On the obverse, the quarter carries the classic portrait of George Washington. This familiar design, originally created by John Flanagan in 1932, was slightly modified by sculptor William Cousins for the America the Beautiful series. The Acadia quarter was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. with millions of coins struck for circulation. Special collector versions were also issued in silver and proof finishes, which highlight the design with extra clarity. Though many of these coins are common in circulation, certain examples are rare and valuable due to errors, unusual varieties, or pristine condition. These are the coins that collectors eagerly search for. 1 Error type seen in some Acadia quarters is the double die. This variety can cause parts of the lettering or details on the lighthouse to appear doubled, creating a striking and collectible mistake. Off-center strikes are another fascinating variety. In these coins, the design is not properly aligned on the blank, leaving part of the quarter unstruck and giving each coin a unique appearance. Die breaks and cuds also appear on certain examples. These occur when the minting dies develop cracks or damage, leaving raised lines or blobs of metal on the finished coin. Such imperfections turn ordinary quarters into numismatic oddities. High-grade mint state examples of the Acadia quarter are also highly prized. Coins without scratches, wear, or discoloration capture the intricate details of the design far better than worn pieces. Collectors often send these coins to grading services, where they are carefully evaluated and certified. A perfect grade can greatly increase the coin's value. Beyond errors and grades, the historical and cultural significance of the Acadia quarter gives it special appeal. It not only represents Maine but also highlights the importance of preserving America's natural beauty. For many people, this quarter is a reminder of their visits to Acadia National Park, where they've witnessed breathtaking sunrises from Cadillac Mountain or explored the rocky shoreline near the lighthouse. The America the Beautiful program was designed to connect people with the country's landmarks through coinage, and the Acadia quarter accomplishes that goal perfectly. Collectors also value the Acadia quarter as part of the larger set. With 56 coins in the series, each representing a different location, the Acadia design is one chapter in a much larger story of America's heritage. This coin also stands out artistically. Its combination of man-made structure and natural scenery makes it one of the most balanced and striking designs of the entire series. Auction records show that rare and high-quality examples of the Acadia quarter have sold for impressive amounts, demonstrating the strong demand for these coins. The coin's beauty and the symbolism of the lighthouse give it a timeless appeal. Even outside of collecting circles, it is admired as a small piece of art. In many ways, the Acadia quarter embodies the spirit of Maine. It represents strength, resilience, and a close relationship with the sea, qualities that have defined the state for centuries. As more collectors discover the hidden treasures within their change, the Acadia quarter continues to be a coin that excites and inspires. Its presence in the America the Beautiful series also ensures that it will be remembered for generations. Alongside the other great designs celebrating America's parks and landmarks, the popularity of this quarter shows that coin collecting isn't just about history or value, it's also about personal connections to the places and stories behind the designs. Whether kept as part of a set, admired as a work of art, or treasured for its rarity, the Acadia quarter is a coin that continues to capture attention. It has proven that even modern quarters can hold incredible significance and financial worth when they are rare, valuable, or beautifully preserved. And for those lucky enough to find one of the rarest examples of the Acadia quarter, the discovery can be life-changing. Some of these coins have been valued at $66,000. Top 8. The Homestead National Monument quarter, released in 2015, is one of the most meaningful coins in the America the Beautiful quarters program. It tells a story of courage, survival, and the American dream, all captured in a single design. This coin honors the Homestead National Monument of America, located in Nebraska. The site commemorates the Homestead Act of 1862, which gave Americans the opportunity to claim land and build new lives in the Western Territories. The Homestead Act was one of the most influential pieces of legislation in U.S. history. It allowed ordinary citizens, immigrants, and freed slaves to stake a claim on 160 acres of land, provided they lived on it and improved it over 5 years. Millions of Americans took advantage of this law, and their determination shaped the settlement of the Great Plains and much of the western United States. The Homestead quarter pays tribute to their sacrifice and perseverance. The reverse design of the Homestead quarter is striking and symbolic. It features a log cabin, 2 bundles of wheat, and a water pump, all of which represent the necessities of life on the frontier. The log cabin symbolizes shelter and the promise of a new beginning for homesteading families. For many, it was the first step toward stability and independence. The wheat stalks stand for food and agriculture, which were the lifeblood of homesteaders. Success on the land meant survival, and wheat was a symbol of that vital sustenance. The water pump is another powerful image. It represents access to water, which was essential not only for drinking but also for farming, livestock, and everyday living. Together, these elements show how homesteaders balanced strength, hard work, and hope as they built lives from nothing in a challenging environment. On the obverse side, the quarter features the familiar portrait of George Washington by John Flanagan, a design that has graced U.S. quarters since 1932. This side ties the coin to the broader history of American coinage. The Homestead quarter was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Circulation strikes were released in large numbers, while proof and silver-proof versions were made for collectors. Even though millions of these coins were produced, some stand out as rare and highly valuable. That's because error coins and high-grade examples can command incredible prices in the collecting market. One well-known error is the snow-on-the-roof variety. On these coins, die chips appear above the roof of the log cabin, making it look like the cabin is covered in snow. This small but fascinating detail has made the variety famous among collectors. Other varieties include extra lines or cracks around the water pump, caused by die deterioration or chips. Each of these small flaws adds character and uniqueness to the coin. The off-center strikes and double dies are also possible in the Homestead series. These rare mistakes transform ordinary circulation coins into highly desirable collectibles. Collectors also prize coins in pristine mint state condition. Quarters graded MS-67 or higher are especially valuable, as so few survive in such perfect form. The Homestead quarters theme also makes it popular. It connects collectors to an important chapter in American history, reminding us of the determination and resilience that shaped the country. For many, this coin is not just a collectible, it's a symbol of family roots, of ancestors who may have been part of the homesteading movement that changed America forever. He also stands as a reminder of Nebraska's place in history, since the Homestead National Monument preserves the very first plot of land claimed under the 1862 law. Collectors enjoy telling the story of this coin, because it is both historically rich and visually striking. The symbols of shelter, of food, and water are universal, which makes the design easy to connect with. The America the Beautiful series aimed to celebrate America's natural and historic treasures, and the Homestead quarter succeeds in capturing the human side of that mission. Over the years, examples of rare Homestead quarters have shown up in auctions, often selling for impressive amounts depending on the variety and condition. The thrill of finding one of these varieties in pocket change or coin rolls has excited collectors since 2015. It proves that treasures can still be discovered in everyday circulation. As time goes on, high-grade examples and error varieties will only grow rarer, making the Homestead quarter an even more desirable collectible in the future. Its design, symbolism, and connection to history guarantee that it will remain a standout piece in the America the Beautiful program for years to come. He is not just a coin, it is a monument in miniature form, a reminder of the endurance and hard work of those who helped shape the nation's heartland. For collectors lucky enough to discover the rarest examples of this coin, the financial reward can be astonishing. Some of these Homestead quarters have been valued at $55,000. Top 9. The New Jersey State Quarter is one of the earliest releases in the 50 State Quarters program, making it a significant piece for collectors and history enthusiasts alike. Released in 1999, it was part of the very first group of coins that sparked a national collecting craze. The design of this coin is especially powerful, as it celebrates a moment that changed the course of American history forever. It features General George Washington and the Continental Army crossing the Delaware River during the Revolutionary War. This famous event took place on December 25, 1776, when Washington led his troops across the icy waters to launch a surprise attack on the Hessian forces in Trenton, New Jersey. The victory that followed reinvigorated the American cause. The image chosen for the coin is based on an 1851 painting by artist Emanuel Leutze. While the original painting is dramatic and larger than life, the U.S. Mint's adaptation managed to capture the courage and determination of Washington and his soldiers in a much smaller form. The reverse shows the boat filled with men, Washington standing tall and resolute at the front. This design embodies leadership, bravery, and the will to fight for independence. Around the border of the reverse side are the inscriptions New Jersey, Crossroads of the Revolution, and the year 1787, the date when New Jersey officially joined the Union. The coin's release date, 1999, is also included. The obverse side of the coin carries the familiar portrait of George Washington designed by John Flanagan. This continuity tied the new state quarters back to America's long-standing coinage traditions. The New Jersey quarter was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, with hundreds of millions produced for circulation. Proofs and silver proofs were also struck at the San Francisco Mint for collectors. Despite its large mintage, certain examples of the New Jersey quarter have become extremely valuable due to unique minting errors and exceptional condition. These are the coins collectors search for with great excitement. One of the most notable error types is the off-center strike. In these coins, the design is shifted away from the middle, leaving part of the surface blank. Each one is different, making them rare and fascinating. Doubled die varieties also exist, where parts of the lettering or design appear doubled due to mistakes in the die engraving process. These quarters are highly prized because of their unusual appearance. Another interesting error comes from die cracks and cuds. These occur when minting dies break down over time, leaving raised lines or extra blobs of metal on the coin's surface. Collectors consider these small details very appealing. High-grade mint state examples of the New Jersey quarter are another source of value. While most circulated coins show scratches, dings, and wear, a flawless piece can capture the design's details perfectly. Coins graded MS67 or higher are particularly rare. In such condition, even a modern coin like the New Jersey quarter can command eye-catching prices. The symbolism of the New Jersey quarter also adds to its desirability. It is not just a piece of money, it tells the story of sacrifice, determination, and one of the most famous military maneuvers in American history. For collectors, owning a New Jersey quarter means holding a piece of the Revolutionary War's legacy, immortalized in metal. It is a small but powerful reminder of America's struggle for freedom. The quarter also represents the spirit of the 50-state quarters program. Launched in 1999, the program aimed to honor each state's history and culture. New Jersey's design was one of the strongest and most historically meaningful of the entire series. Millions of people were drawn into coin collecting because of this program, and the New Jersey quarter played a central role in that excitement. For residents of New Jersey, the coin holds special pride. It connects them to their state's crucial role in the Revolution, as well as to the broader history of the nation. The coin also continues to be an educational tool. Teachers and parents often use the New Jersey quarter to teach children about the Revolutionary War and George Washington's leadership. Even though the design is over 20 years old, it remains one of the most admired in the state quarter series. The dramatic crossing scene continues to capture the imagination of collectors. Auction records show that rare and unusual examples of this quarter have sold for thousands, depending on grade and error variety. The market for such pieces is strong, and interest in them continues to grow. This proves that even modern circulating coins can become valuable treasures under the right circumstances. Rarity, condition, and history all combine to create exceptional demand. The New Jersey quarter stands as a reminder that the coins in our pockets can hold incredible stories. They are more than currency, they are windows into America's past. Collectors cherish this coin not only for its beauty and symbolism but also for the thrill of the hunt, as they search rolls and collections for rare varieties. As time passes, pristine examples and rare errors will become even scarcer, ensuring that the New Jersey quarter remains a standout in American numismatics. T is a coin that will always be tied to the courage of George Washington and the daring crossing of the Delaware River. Its design captures a turning point in history, and for those who discover one of the rarest examples of this quarter, the reward can be life-changing. Some of these coins have been valued at $108,000. Top 10. The New York State Quarter, released in 2001, is one of the most iconic designs in the 50-state quarters program. It carries immense historical, cultural, and symbolic meaning, making it a favorite among collectors and admirers of American coinage. When the U.S. Mint introduced this coin, it aimed to capture the essence of New York, one of the most influential states in the Union. And with its design, the coin accomplished exactly that. The reverse side of the New York quarter prominently features the Statue of Liberty, one of the most recognized symbols of freedom and democracy in the entire world. The image instantly connects the coin to the state's role as a gateway to America. Behind Lady Liberty is an outline of the state of New York. This bold design choice roots the quarter firmly in geography, showing the state's boundaries as they appear on a map. Stretching across the coin's reverse are 11 stars. These stars represent New York being the 11th state to ratify the United States Constitution, placing it firmly in the country's foundational history. The state motto, "Gateway to Freedom," is inscribed on the coin, reminding us of the countless immigrants who entered the United States through Ellis Island and were greeted by the Statue of Liberty. This design is powerful not only because of its symbolism but also because of its artistry. It balances national pride, state identity, and a message of hope and opportunity. On the obverse side, as with all state quarters, is the familiar profile of George Washington designed by John Flanagan. This portrait ties the coin to decades of American numismatic tradition. The New York quarter was struck at multiple mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Proof and silver-proof editions were made, as well as millions of circulation strikes, making the coin widely available. Despite the large number produced, certain New York quarters are highly valuable today due to errors, varieties, or pristine condition. These are the coins collectors hope to discover in their change. One notable error involves off-center strikes. In these rare coins, the design is not perfectly centered on the blank planchet, leaving a portion of the surface unstruck. Double die errors are another variety. These coins feature double details on inscriptions or the Statue of Liberty's outline, caused by mistakes in the die engraving process. Cuds and die cracks also appear on some examples. These occur when minting dies break or wear out, leaving raised blobs or lines of metal on the finished coin. Such features make each error coin unique. High-grade examples of the New York quarter are also valuable. While most circulated pieces show wear and scratches, mint state examples preserve the design in crisp, flawless detail. Collectors prize coins graded MS-67 or higher, as very few survive in such condition. These top-quality coins often bring strong prices at auctions. The New York quarter's popularity is not just about its rarity. It is also about the power of its design. The Statue of Liberty is more than just a monument, it is a symbol of hope for people across the globe. For generations of immigrants, Lady Liberty was the first sight of America. Her raised torch promised a new life, opportunities, and freedoms unavailable in their homelands. Why including this statue on the coin, the New York quarter embodies the dream of America itself, making it one of the most meaningful issues of the entire state quarter program. Collectors also appreciate the quarter for its historical context. Released just months before the tragic events of September 11, 2001, the coin gained even greater significance in the years that followed. Many people began to view the quarter as a reminder of resilience, unity, and the enduring spirit of New York and the nation. The motto "Gateway to Freedom" became even more poignant in this light, symbolizing not just immigration but also the struggle to preserve liberty in challenging times. This deeper emotional connection has only added to the coin's importance among collectors and the general public. Over the years, rare and high-grade New York quarters have commanded impressive prices at auctions. Collectors around the world seek them both for their rarity and their cultural significance. The New York quarter proves that coins are not only pieces of currency, they are also works of art, history lessons, and symbols of national pride. Every detail of this coin, from the stars to the state outline to the towering Statue of Liberty, tells a story about New York's place in the United States. It is a coin that resonates far beyond numismatics, as it represents both state identity and universal ideals of freedom. And for collectors lucky enough to discover the rarest examples of this coin, the reward can be extraordinary. Some of these New York quarters have been valued at $95,000. Tells a story about New York's place in the United States. It is a coin that resonates far beyond numismatics, as it represents both state identity and universal ideals of freedom, and for collectors lucky enough to discover the rarest examples of this coin, the reward can be extraordinary. Some of these New York quarters have been valued at $95,000. Tells a story about New York's place in the United States. It is a coin that resonates far beyond numismatics, as it represents both state identity and universal ideals of freedom, and for collectors lucky enough to discover the rarest examples of this coin, the reward can be extraordinary. Some of these New York quarters have been valued at $95,000.